Well, hey folks, this is Will Forbes, and this is the first in a series of videos I want to do on speech computing, or controlling your computer with voice dictation software. And I imagine you don't want to stare at my desktop for the entire video, so I'm going to start off by opening up a notepad file, and I'll keep talking, and we can use that as a good chance to test how reliable the voice dictation component of speech computing is. Click Start. Notepad. OK, comma, here we go. Period. New paragraph. So I first started using voice dictation because of repetitive strain, comma, and that's the reason I continue to do so, period. And while it's been a frustrating experience, I've found voice dictation to be more functional than not using a computer at all, period. And as I started to develop an understanding of delete previous two words, of what speech computing was capable of, comma, I started wondering whether it might be just as efficient as hands-powered computing, period. New paragraph. Is it? Question mark. No, comma, not yet, comma. And I think for certain things it never will be. Select and. Choose one. Go to end of line. Period. But there is a lot you can do with speech computing. Period. If you have limited use of your hands, comma, it can greatly empower you. Period. And I think even if you're completely, delete previous three words, if you're a completely functional human being, comma, at this stage in the game, comma, you can actually substantially increase your efficiency using speech computing. Period. There's really two components here. Press Control Z. New paragraph. There's really two components to speech computing, period. One is, of course, dictating, comma, like I'm doing right here, M dash. So we're talking about transcribing what you say to text, period. The second would be controlling the computer interface vis-a-vis the buttons and hot links, etc., period. Left paren. I'm actually pretty impressed it understood vis-a-vis, period, right paren. So to start out this series, comma, I want to first just review the software I'm running on my machine right now to use speech computing, comma, and give you a sense of what the different components do, period. Go to sleep. Now it's worth noting when I say go to sleep, the microphone shuts off and no longer is listening to what I say, period. So I don't really need to say period, for example. And this gives me a chance to talk to you without dealing with the speech computing component. So what I'm going to do, I think, is shut off this notepad file and, as I said, review some of these pieces of tools that I'm using. So first we'll start up again, wake up, close file, close file, close file, press Alt F4, no, go to sleep. Well, that was kind of interesting because that is some kind of bug somewhere in the system that pops up occasionally. Close file should basically do the same as Alt F4 or basically shutting down a file. I don't know why it wasn't, but that gives you a sense of that while this stuff works, it's not perfect. So yeah, as mentioned, I'm running several things. I'll pop this guy up here. So this is the Dragon bar, which is representing the Dragon Naturally Speaking product, and that's the basic engine that is hearing what I say and translating it into bits and bytes and that sort of thing. Now, accompanying that is a add-on product I'm running. Well, let me jump back to Dragon, because I'm running, I believe it's Dragon Preferred or Professional, whichever one's most expensive. And that one it's pricey. It's up in, I think, around 800. But you can get another version, which is, I believe, around 200. And I use that one for years, and it's perfectly fine for everything I'm describing here. Okay, so then I'm also using something called Vocola, which is a add-on which allows you to create these customizable commands. And in essence, it can any kind of keyboard hotkey combination that you might enter into any software you're using. So, for example, in Word, you might select text and say Control B, which of course bolds the text. That's a very simple example. Anyway, all of that kind of macroizing can be captured, and you can create customizable commands for that. I think you'll see why that's cool and impressive in later videos. And then the third piece that I'm running is, I'll pop it up over here. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Hold on. Yeah. It's called Show Numbers Plus. I guess it doesn't really have an interface, but I'll give you an example of the cool things it does. Basically, it creates a little numbered square over things that you might want to interact with on various software screens. A good example is a web page, so I'll do that. Wake up. Click Start. Internet. Show numbers. Go to sleep. Okay, so you see how these little numbered boxes have popped up over the various clickable parts of the browser. What I want to do is expand the browser window, and that's using this guy over here. I think you can see my mouse. It's currently labeled as number 2. So, wake up, click 2, go to sleep. All right, there we go. So let's navigate around Google a bit. Wake up, show numbers, click 54. Show numbers. Click 83. Go back. Click small explosive device. Show numbers. Click 93. Go to sleep. Okay, so it's definitely not zipping along, and I should make clear I'm running a Dell Latitude from, I think, around 2005. I've got about 4 gigs of RAM, but I'm definitely running an old school system. So a lot of this stuff would run much faster on any modern system you could get today for probably around $500. But that's basically all I wanted to do in this video, is kind of cover the fact that it's a combination of Dragon, naturally speaking, which basically is the engine that can take what I'm saying and translate it into things a computer can understand. It's Vocola, which creates these customizable commands. We didn't really look at that today, but it's very cool. And then in addition to that is the Show Numbers Plus, which is just a nice way of navigating around screens, especially screens that don't have 5,000 links on them. So yeah, that's it for right now.